What the fuck do you think this is? Amateur hour?
Welcome to Hanging Loose, a disc golf podcast, hosted by Shanked DG and Spicy Boy. Today's guest, Jeremy London.
Y'all can wait.
Oh no! Welcome to Hanging Loose podcast. I'm Shank DG. With me, as always, is
Spicy Boy. Sorry, that's really fucking loud.
and for the first time ever, this episode is brought to you by Great Lakes Disc. You
Absolutely,
can use
our good friends.
Yes, you can use code Hanging Loose at checkout to save 10% and help us buy some, like a fifth of a disc or something. So
A fifth of, because that's the only part you really touch when it comes down to it. But no, yes, big shout out to Great Lakes Disc for offering to hook us up with a couple things. They apparently like what we're doing. We like what they do, so it's mutually beneficial, and we appreciate them for offering that. So figured I'd rep the hat. I think I had this on in episode 2, but it was backwards, and no one ever knew. Probably everyone just thought I was a racist. So
the red hat guy.
Glad to prove that I'm not. It's a Great Lakes Disc hat.
Make Great Lakes great again.
Make America Great Lakes Disc. I don't know if they want that associated. Probably not.
Probably not. I mean,
probably not.
This is their mistake for sponsoring us.
So it's my brain for just being small and just thinking of the easiest joke to make at any given time.
Oh, no, it was good. So today we have, speaking of politics, we have Jeremy London coming onto the show.
Oh, yes. It's very.
We will refrain from the politics today just because this is a disc golf podcast. And
damn right.
So
I made one joke, and now look, our whole podcast is going to topple and
already spiraling.
Brian's at 5 episodes. I give him 7.
So Great Lakes offered to buy my poor ass a microphone, and in return, they will help us out with,
we will help them out.
Thank you. I froze.
I heard. I was there for the whole thing. No, so as you know, I got this nice new semi-professional microphone. If however much professionalism $35 buys you. It was gifted to me for Christmas. Thanks, Dad. Actually, thanks, Dad. My dad's the one who bought me this microphone.
Thanks.
And Papa Spicy, that's what I call him.
Papa Spicy. That's good.
But then this morning, Brian had messaged me from Great Lakes Disc and was like, how much is the mic you want? And we worked a couple things out. I sent him Shank's way, and they very graciously did offer to buy him a nice microphone so they don't have to listen to him mumble in their shop anymore. We'll give them shout outs. I'm sure they'll supply more giveaways as the year goes on. Only one, just like Great Lakes Disc.
Just the one.
And, well, that's all we know for now. No contract extensions here. But yeah, they've been great, and we really appreciate their support. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much to Papa Wolf and all the Great Lakes Disc family, except for Crunchy. So,
yeah, except for Crunchy, you and your professional streamer setup making us look bad.
Right, I tried to copy him
many texts
a little bit with
0. I didn't get any.
Oh,
it's okay.
Did you get any from leaking your own phone number onto Twitter?
That no one got right, which was hysterical to me.
Someone's like, who the heck? Like, what are they talking about?
Like, 602, learn my phone number. Yeah, that was fun. It's so funny too. And I had this conversation with my lovely girlfriend, Jillian. She's downstairs. And I said, you know what? I posted a picture of a disc to Twitter, and it has my phone number on it. And I'm very lucky that I've not gotten a single text or phone call. But I always make fun of other people for doing it, and my dumb ass did it myself without even paying attention. So eggs on my face, boys. And girls, I don't know who listens to this. I've yet to confirm a female listener other than my girlfriend.
Our Spotify analytics show that we have 2% female audience listeners. So,
and my girlfriend doesn't listen on Spotify to my knowledge. So, because she always texts me about it on Wednesday when we post to YouTube. So she's a
gotcha.
real one. She's looking out for us. Thanks.
Heck
thanks.
yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. We saw that picture posted by was it 43 East, where he was chilling out on his porch and had our podcast up, and it broke my brain that someone out there has this on their TV and or phone, watching us do whatever this is.
Also made my brain fall out of my ass. I'm scrolling, and you see the picture and you're not really paying attention to it. You're scrolling, you're like, is that me?
Yeah.
Not to be self-centered, but you recognize yourself pretty quick.
Yeah.
I just was scrolling, was that me? And I scrolled back and I was like, holy shit, no way. So it's like seeing it on a computer or like a phone is like, oh, that's great. That's how most people consume podcasts. But like if you're going through the trouble to pull it up on your TV and watch it, I don't know why that just feels extra special.
Yeah, it does. It's like who's gonna be the first one to put us in a movie theater?
Get on it, Terrell. You got the money. Speaking of Terrell, he'll be here for us Thursday, for y'all next week, January 17th.
To see that tweet made my day pretty well. Made my day.
It's all right. Words are hard, bud.
It's what is a podcast? You don't need to speak.
Right. Yeah. No, it caught me by surprise as well.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, oh, it's especially because when he was here for the Big Arm Challenge last month, he was like, yeah, I don't. Outside of I think he mentioned like one or two of the really big disc golf podcasts. He's like, gotcha. I don't really listen. And so for him to then actually come out and be like, I'm catching up so that I can be on there. I was really impressed and grateful. So thank you, Gary.
Absolutely. Thank you, T. Millie. We'll see you on Thursday. Anyways, let's get this show on the road. I'm sure we've got a little bit of time. You filmed for Terry this week, a little bit of story time.
Not Terry, actually. Tony.
Oh, Tony.
I was pimped
Is that
out
Terry
by,
in a mustache?
by Terry. His Chef Boyardee persona. No, he's Tony is the media director for the NADGT, which is the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour.
Yep.
And he was in town filming just up the road from my girlfriend's house, and Terry initially told me, he's like, are you free on the 7th? Because I want to loan you out to Dave Feldberg. And I was like, oh, I'd love to work with Dave Feldberg. And then he was like, let me give you this guy Tony's number. Tony, super nice guy, very straightforward about what he wanted. I don't know that I think he's an awkward laugher, because when I got to the course to film, it was 7:30 in the morning. It was 37 degrees outside. At least it felt like it was 30. I don't know what the actual temperature was, but it was freezing. And all I had on was a hoodie and jeans and some Adidas slip-on shoes. It was scheduled to rain that day. And so I stayed on hole 1. I filmed all the cards teeing off on the first hole. And then I went with the chase card. 5 minutes before the chase card left, it starts raining.
Oh.
So I have Terry's several $1,000 camera, his mic, all of his equipment, and it's raining. And I started losing my shit. I was like, it can't rain right now. Luckily, Tony's a consummate professional, and he's like, make sure tomorrow you have a grocery bag and some cellophane tape. And I taped that camera up, and let me tell you, Tony, I love you to death, and you paid me very handsomely to do what I did. But that was a nightmare. It was 45 degrees, windy, rainy. I was trudging through the mud. I ruined a brand new pair of shoes that I just got for Christmas. I was the most grumpy, miserable a-hole, I'm sure. There was a gentleman named Rich who teed off with the MA50 group, I think. Very nice. Brought me gloves, held an umbrella over my head for the first 5 or so holes. Ran to my car to get my backup batteries because I was so caught by the weather that I totally forgot to grab them. And, I mean, he helped me out a lot. And round was over. Everything went great. Tony was very happy with the footage. And but when I was grumbling to Tony about things, he just kept laughing. And I was like, I'm not laughing at all, my guy. Like, I was so like, how could this even happen?
Yeah.
I just get a DM.
Uh-oh.
So where are you sending the link?
Gotcha. Oh, from Jeremy.
Yeah.
Mr. London. Well, that's fun. Sorry it rained on you and ruined a nice pair of shoes.
I wouldn't say ruined. I just really need to take care of them to get them back.
Gotcha. A little bit of TLC.
Sent it, and I said we'll be ready in about 15-20. So,
Sweet.
All right. RV3 loves when we handle guest interactions live on the air. So,
oh yeah.
Now I'm also going to fix this lamp. Perfect.
So
deal with that in editing. Just kidding. You do a lot for us, and we love you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, RV3 or RB3. That's my bad.
No, it's RV. Are you fucking with me or are you fucking with him?
I'm fucking with you. The giveaway that we're announcing at the end of the show. I told people to tell that RV3 that they want him to be their dad, and they
I don't even know what the giveaway is.
I think it's that Grace. It's that blue Grace.
Yeah, you're right.
And
boy,
everyone kept calling him
so much today. You better get it together before Jeremy gets here, because I will not have it.
It snowed.
Get him out.
A literal foot. So I'm taking that as an excuse. It affects me zero, but you know.
You said it snowed a foot?
Yeah, we got a foot of snow last night and through today.
Gross.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since it snowed a genuine foot here. Like we'll collect that much over like a month or something, but it's never done that over a day. Like everything shut down. My job was like, if you can't make it in, just forget about it. Like, so I had today off, and we're getting close to Jeremy, so I think we'll skip that. Maybe we'll slap that in at the end of the episode.
What do we slap?
I'll have a quick the player movement segment that I came up with.
Yeah, we can.
Toss
once we get bored of Jeremy, we can just excuse me, famous man, get the hell out of here. We would never. I love you, Jeremy. Don't be mad at me.
So I've got a pretty short story time. Probably one of the craziest things that I've ever witnessed. Also happened as I was driving to a tournament in Newton, Iowa for hootin' and shooting in Newton is what they call it. But I was driving, and it's I have to
Iowa
leave.
Name I've ever heard.
Yeah. My highest rated round to date, I think it's like 923 I shot or something like that. But on my way there, it's kind of like a windy back road way that Google Maps takes you. And I was driving a little bit over the speed limit, like nothing crazy. And this car comes flying up behind me and slows down at a respectable distance. He thought he was going to be the only one on the road and was speeding, and then saw me. So, kept a car length or two between us. And from behind him came this truck that was hell bent on getting wherever they were going yesterday, and came flying up, tried to pass him, and the car that came up to me the first time tried to speed up to not let him pass, and they ended up having this road rage thing behind me, and I'm chilling, just going 57, because it's 55, and they both try to pass me at the same time. The truck rear ends the car, and they both go careening off of a ledge, and the truck rolled 5 times. The car didn't roll at all, but they both just went careening into the ditch. And one of the craziest things it was definitely set a tone for the tournament. I don't know if that's the reason I shot higher. Maybe I need to witness more road rage to have better ratings.
Well, the one time I've really ever witnessed a car accident, because it was very similar to that, is I was on the way home with my wife from dinner, and ex-wife, sorry. I don't want to confuse anybody. And we were in the left lane. It was 2 lanes, a middle lane, and then 2 opposite lanes. So we're in the left lane. There's a car to my right, directly to my right. So there's no movement.
Right.
And I can see in my rearview mirror, this is nighttime, there's this guy just in and out. I mean, like, and they're big, like 1980 Chevy Silverado headlights, the ones that are solid steel. And I can see him just like in and out of traffic. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to cause an accident. So he gets behind me. And as I'm coming up, there's still the car on my right, or opposite for y'all because I'm on a camera. And then to my left coming up, there's a car waiting to turn left. So we're approaching them like this. And he tries to go around me in the middle lane because he can't see that car.
Yeah.
Swerves into oncoming traffic. Swerves again to avoid oncoming traffic. Hits a guy on a bike.
Oh, no.
Flings back around to the right. Rolls his truck like 4 or 5 times. Right in front. I mean, missed the front of my car by maybe 8 or 10 inches.
Good Lord.
My girlfriend or my wife was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah. So he hit the girl that was, because she went to turn left. Didn't see him coming up because it's opposite traffic, you know?
Yeah.
He hit her, hit the guy in the bike, swerved back, and then rolled a bunch. So me and my wife went to check on the girl because people were already checking on the biker, and the dude was climbing out of the truck just hammered. And yeah, I mean, it was wild. And that was before I ever even knew what disc golf was.
That's crazy. That story took, I thought maybe it was gonna be like rear-ended someone real hard and then hit a biker, like at a left field.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy should be in the next few minutes.
Sweet. Yeah. Otherwise, I haven't really had a chance to frolf lately. It's been real cold, and don't like that word, frolf.
It's like you should be wearing a sweater over your shoulders when you say it, and that's how I will forever feel about that word. Like, you're saying it somewhat ironically, so that's understandable.
I like it though. But, I mean, I know you do take stuff too seriously, but I do get it. It's a lot like tying a sweater around your waistband, much like Jeremy London in Mallrats. So,
yeah, for a good portion of the movie too. I rewatched it today just to get a little warmed up for Sir Jeremy London, who should be in here shortly.
I wonder if he's actually knighted. That should be a question.
That should be a question. I don't think so.
He's
I feel like I don't think so.
But stolen valor.
He's my knight in shining armor, and many others from the 80s and 90s. But yeah, there was damn it. I heard a line today in the movie that I had never really paid attention to before, and it's kind of my lane of humor. Is like, I can't remember what it was, but it's like the cops are arresting him and Jason Lee, and they're like, "How could you do that?" And then one of the cops just says plainly how he did it. He's like, "He changed his voice," or like some throwaway line that's like completely irrelevant to the situation, but also like hysterical to just hear someone say plain-faced.
Yeah.
It made me laugh so hard. I really had a good chuckle with it.
Yeah, I should have rewatched it recently, but I just went through his, did a little bit of creeping, went through the Wikipedia, some old articles, just to kind of see what I could find. But yeah,
I was, classic amateur internet research. I was on the IMDb page, and some of the stuff that they have listed there as like, did you know? They're like, he wore this kind of suit to his wedding. It's like, what? Like, either he's on there putting it on there, which if so, 100% more power to you, because that's hysterical. But if there's somebody that just knows that shit and typing up random facts about Jeremy London, that's even better. Even better.
Oh, man, where you at, bro? He's on Hollywood time.
No, but I literally just was messaging him and I said, hey, we'll be ready in about 20 minutes. And then I looked at the clock and realized that was going to be about 20 minutes after I told him to be ready. And I felt absolutely awful because I know he's very busy and has a lot of stuff to do. So I messaged him and I was like, we're going to push this segment and have you on in 5. He's like, thank you. Like, hey, I'm sorry, man. We're amateurs. We've claimed to be nothing else other than that. But you got to always respect the time of your guests, whether it's Sir Jeremy London or somebody who doesn't matter at all, like Papa Wolf. You still got to be. Love you, Brian. You know I love you, and that I would make that joke in a crowded bar just the same.
Oh, that's good.
Oh man.
So we hit 150 subscribers.
Yeah, Mr. One Disc. How's that going to work for you?
That's hopefully good. Potential to be really bad. It really just depends on how friendly people want to be to me. I immediately regretted tweeting that, and then I was like, I have to commit to it, and to commit to it, I need to also push for it. So it was a lot of hate marketing, as it were, where it was like, yeah, follow me, you fucking idiots.
It'd be like that sometimes. I mean, some people make a whole career out of that, bad baby.
Yeah. And like, there's somebody that was like, well, but maybe think twice before you subject your card mates to a meme or something like that. And I'm like, it's a C tier at an MA3. Like, with my experience playing, I won't finish last. Like, unless I get like the Stego or something, in which case I might finish last. But
I was gonna say, if you're throwing a glitch through the woods, you might not do too hot. I mean, they're easy to shape shots with, but they're also very touchy.
Yeah, and lightweight enough that if you kick off a tree, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's just going to continue to glide forever.
Yeah,
the direction it kicks.
So yeah, I think the glitch has a good chance. Rolo is probably going to be the winner, if I had to guess. A lot of people were being quite the Rolo evangelists, and I'm kind of excited. I mean, it looks like a fun disc, and I do like me some flippy stuff. And I have the Lone Wolf from Lone Star. That is the flippiest thing I've ever thrown, and it's a ton of fun. So I imagine the Rolo might be similar to where, like, you just have to throw it on as much hyzer as possible and as high as you can, and you'll actually get a workable shot shape out of it.
I'm so bad at anhyzers. Like, I need the Rolo just so I can have a turnover disc. Like, my Fission Wave, my Castronaut is like, shout out Jordan Castro. It's just finally starting to get beat in enough to where I can flip it. Like, Simon uses them for rollers, but now I can turn it over just a little bit. And I've actually ran the same basket with it twice, out at Freestone, and it's one of the harder, longer holes. But it's great. I very much enjoy it. I have that one. I have an Essence from Discmania, Rip Eagle. And then I also have, what's my other flippy one? Oh, I have a very beat-in fly die 5-time Juliana Corver Champ Valkyrie. And that thing flips real nice. And I found that on a course. I genuinely... There was no name or number. I posted about it. I really would love to get it returned. So if you happen by chance to be watching this and you can tell me the colors of the fly die, I will happily bring it back to you. But the disc is like a magic disc for me. It's just so nice.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's my signal. It's super lightweight, like 150s, I want to say, and like super flippy, but throw it at like 50% on a little bit of hyzer, and that thing is just, it's the easiest tunnel shot disc I think that's in my bag, other than like my Crave. The Crave is probably, it's the disc I trust the most in my bag. I've been a Crave salesman forever. If you want one, you can go to greatlakesdisc.com and use promo code hanging loose to get 10% off. Oh boy, I floundered that.
It's okay. It's kind of been your theme this episode so far. Also, speaking of Craves, I just bought one from Justin at JME_0906, and it is the infamous Pop-Tart Crave.
Yeah, from the
No, that looks like shit.
From
But from the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, that was such. I'm so glad he made that, and even happier that you bought it. Yeah, JMEO something on Twitter and Afterlife Dies on Instagram. He makes some really cool stuff, and if you have custom stuff you want, hit him up. He's really good at what he does, and he really enjoys it. So definitely deserving of the love, and makes pretty sick Pop-Tart Frisbees.
So at least one. I am the sole owner of a Pop-Tart Frisbee, to my knowledge. So I wanted that exclusivity, and I paid for it. And he's a good dude. Sent it out like literally the next morning. So it should be here by the time it'll either be here Thursday before we film with Terrell, or by the following Tuesday when we record our next episode. Actually, do we need to record another episode a week from today? Because we'll have Terry for next week, or we get a Tuesday off.
We don't need to record next week if we don't want to. We'll have Terry for that week, and it'll give me time to like properly treat that episode as it should be. Cut all of Terry's words out. So
all of his dad jokes. God, even literally when he was here for Big Arm and we all went to that comedy show and everything, like we were in the car on the way to QT to get an energy drink, and he was like, there was some song on the radio, and he just worked the title into what he was saying, and he's like, "Am I right?" I was like, "Terry, get the hell out of this car right now, you fucking turd."
I'm gonna leave you at this QT.
He's so much fun to hang out with.
Oh, I bet.
While we're waiting, one of our player movement predictions from last week was announced today.
Yeah, Hannah Wynn to Discraft, and almost certainly her boy toy to follow.
Her boy toy. way to reduce Chris Clemens to a piece of meat. You know what go great with that meat? Some Clemonade. Yeah, you're welcome.
No, I'm really excited to see what they do there. It seems like such a good fit. It was a good effort, Crunchy, to throw us off the trail and say DGA, but we all knew.
I love the drama going on in our DM or our things right now.
Yeah.
On our tweets. Gotta love it. There's no escaping it.
Yeah.
We won't talk about it. If y'all are interested, go look it up. But it's a little dicey. I had to wear a hat, so my haircut wasn't visible today.
Yeah, and clearly my prediction that Eagle was staying with Discmania is, clearly came true.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry. My first true podcaster experience where they're like, yeah, sure, but is this you?
That was really funny. The fact that Terry thought of us enough to bring it up and link to the exact time signature that we needed just so he can throw a little shade. That's why I love him.
Still possible. I think Eagle breaks contract with Discmania and re-signs with Discmania.
The old restructuring max deal LeBron James move.
Yep. I'm still pretty convinced he's going to MVP. And there's a good chance. I posted that video where Eagle throwing a Zone OS, and it was immediately countered with that looks like it was shot in the summer. So my thoughts that he might be going to Infinite kind of dissolved right then.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really cool to see Eagle throw an open bag. I think it'd be really cool to see any, top 20 pro throw an open bag, because we see Drew Gibson do it, but he doesn't meet the criteria.
Bro, I can't wait until I run into Drew next time and he just punches me square in the face for all the hate you guys give him. I'm like, Drew.
It's not hate. I love the guy. He's I don't know why he's so easy to poke fun at. See, when I got into the sport initially and started watching Jomez coverage and all that stuff, almost every lead card or final round coverage had Drew Gibson in it, and I was like, oh, I love this guy. He's like tatted up. He's a short guy like me, like super relatable. And then like 2021 hit, and it was like, where did he go?
Right. Yeah. He had the really great putting performance at the Tour Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeremy just messaged me to ask where the link is, and I already sent it. So I'm gonna send it again. We'll see if it goes through this time.
I can also try to send it to him. Maybe, I don't know.
Poor guy probably thinks we're just ignoring him.
Right. Oh, I feel bad, but
I mean, me too. I don't want him to think we're
jerking him around.
Yeah, we're definitely not.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. RB3. That's probably
now you get to edit this out of the audio version.
One of those unpleasant noises you always talk about.
Do everything that we're not paying you for. Okay.
Appreciate you.
Sent. We'll see.
Let's run through some player movement while Mr. Hollywood figures out how to get in here.
Oh, he's hopping in.
He
said he was waiting for me to tell him when. I'm sorry. I may have misunderstood. I said give us about 5 and then hop in, but I don't. I don't know. I'm an amateur.
Mr. London, where you at?
London's calling.
Pop in the green room.
The green room.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. For those of you wondering, it's literally just like a holding area, like a holding cell for potential guests, where you just kick them out, or like I could just kick Spicy out right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, but you don't want to. I got a new phone.
Ooh,
I had an iPhone 12 and now I have a 15, and I took my 12 in front of everyone while I was hosting trivia, and I was like, "This phone sucks," and they were like, "What's wrong with it?" I was like, "Everything," and I threw it on the ground and shattered it, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, dude!" I was like, I got a new one. It's fine." They were like, "Oh my god!" You're just hulking out.
Hell yeah! But yeah.
I can't wait for the very first thing I say to Jeremy London to be, "I'm sorry," because I'm really excited about it. Look at this.
Hoping he gets in here soon. This
might he's on his way now.
This little last. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
Mr. Jeremy London.
Guys,
how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Heck yeah.
Sorry for the mix-up.
Oh, it's all right,
just wanted you to hate me at the very onset of this interview.
You guys are off to a nice start here, guys. Really, really great job. No, I'm kidding, man. It's so good. We're raising a grandbaby, and so my time gets limited sometimes because I'm leaving the lady with the kiddo. But dude, I'm here now. So
heck yeah. Well,
it's been real. Go take care of your grandchild.
Yeah. It was good. Disc golf, love it. Bye. This is fun.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Disc golf, big fan.
Well, thanks for gracing our little podcast with your first disc golf.
Yeah, man.
Appearance.
I'm excited. I'm actually excited to do this. I fell in love with this great game. It's cool to I want to be a part of the community and as much as I can, and promote the game as much as I can. I truly. It has changed. It has changed my life in the sense. I'm 51 now. And for me, exercise. I like to have fun when I exercise. I'm not a big muscle head or anything, and so and I played ball golf for a long time.
Golf, love it.
It's it's expensive. I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's golf, but I play disc golf more than that anymar, and so.
Yeah,
I just said ball golf, but I played that for 30 some years, and I truly enjoy disc golf far more.
Yeah, no, it's something about this sport. Just I think it grabs almost everyone that gives it an honest try, which is one of my favorite things. How long have you been playing?
About a year and a half, I guess. Well, okay. Yeah, about a year and a half. my grandbaby's 2, and his other grandfather, his baby, my stepson's the baby mama's dad introduced me. So
We made it.
he's Pawpaw. I'm Papa J. He's Pawpaw. We're in Mississippi, so it's all Mama and Pawpaw and these southern things that
Do you prefer Sir Jeremy or Papa J? Because I'll call you whatever you want.
Sir Jeremy is silly. That's just me having fun, being not showing that I don't take myself too seriously by pretending to take myself too seriously. I Papa J is I never thought that I would be a grandfather this early in my life, and it is my stepson's kiddo, and so it was my oldest son is only 16, but he's already bigger than me. Lyric, yeah, he's already bigger than me, and has the ladies all over him. So I'm like telling him, I'm glad to have this one. I'm not in a rush to have any other ones for a while, but
it's gonna take up all your golf time.
Yes, yes, I can't wait to get him out there with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you played any rounds with him yet?
He's still so little, but he loves to. We've got one of the small baskets, and the minis, and he'll play with that thing for hours. He doesn't throw them in there, but he sees us because I've got a setup out back that my stepson and I putt all day long on, and he sees us on that, and so he mimics us by on the small one. So I see him picking it up already. I just wish this would have been something that I would have known about early enough in my life. I feel like I'd be much better at this point, but who knows?
That's a thought we all have literally every day. But you were doing important things with the younger years in your life, as we all know. So we're very grateful for those.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm pretty busy. I definitely need just something to do in my old ass age.
51. 51's the new 31.
I don't feel 51. I remember when I was little, when I was young, 50. My grandparents, I remember when they were 50, and they were old. They were old, They also, worked hard and lived hard, and so this is keeping me young. I can tell you the best thing about disc golf, while we're here, is that it's my stepson and I have gotten super, super close. My stepson Ethan and whenever I first met him, he was only 15. He's 20 now, but he, for the first several years, he just was in his room playing video games all the time, like a hermit. And I didn't even get a chance to really know him. I know you guys, this is kind of your generation probably. And my other son, Lyric, he's the same way. He plays a lot of video games. And Wyatt, my 9-year-old, he's the same thing. The entire time he was here for Christmas, all he did was play Red Dead Redemption. The entire time.
Hey, he's got good taste. At least.
One game for 2 weeks, literally one game for 2. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, just play with different characters." I was like, "Hey."
You name him after a Western, he's gonna play a Western.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah, when I was watching Mallrats earlier today, there was a Tombstone reference. You called down the thunder, well now you got it. And I was like, I didn't notice that when I was younger, but got it this time.
I don't even know if I noticed that until years later, Kevin plants all those Easter eggs in there. Hell, I didn't even know who Stan Lee was whenever I took the part of it. I was really very much like TS. So a lot of references I didn't get,
I didn't even notice they were Jaws names. There's the Jaws shark, all that stuff. And then I'm watching it today, just going, this shit makes so much more sense now that I'm 34.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's why the movie has legs, because it's just silly and goofy, and that holds up if you're, if it's the right kind of goofy. And, and it's like smart and fun. It's just like it's never not a good time, there's never, it's been fun to me how old are you guys? You don't mind me asking?
34.
27. See, it makes me really happy that you guys even know about the movie. It's genuinely more popular now than it was.
Yeah. I think it's one of those, it becomes a cult classic, right? Like it might not do well in theaters at the time, but
it didn't.
It's the Kevin Smith formula.
My dad and stepmom are such big fans of that movie that they named my brother Brody from the movie.
Oh,
And
nice.
like that's got to be the most watched movie
That's cool.
I've ever seen, because I'd go over to my dad's on the weekends or whatever, and it'd always be on the TV. Like
That's
we'd watch
great.
it, several times a year. And
Yeah, you're
so
answering
I,
cool
I
as hell. Good.
yeah, I DM'd you one time. And I was like, hey, can you say hi to my dad, Dennis? 'Cause- so,
Did I?
but yeah.
Yeah, I hope
So
I did.
you did.
I try to when I try to try to connect with people as much as I can. I like being available. One thing that I think that uh, the convention circuit, I think, is what kind of opened me up to being more open-minded about being
Accessible.
connected to the fans and staying accessible. Yeah, being accessible and staying accessible. Because whenever I first started doing those things, I just kind of felt like, like a fish in a fishbowl, or like an animal at the zoo that people were walking by pointing at. And it was weird, and I wasn't having fun, and nobody wanted to get my autograph because I looked like I was miserable. and I started watching people like Michael Rooker and all these guys that were just huge stars, and they were out there having a blast with people, and I was like, now they're having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe I should just give that a shot. And so I did. So I was like, I made one day, I just said, I'm just gonna go out here, I'm gonna actually try to enjoy this today. And ever since, and I started making more money and meeting more people, and it's just the experience itself became something I actually look forward to now, instead of I used to abhor it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I mean,
existential dread.
it's ultimately led you on the people's favorite disc golf podcast, and so I think it
Good.
was the right choice for sure.
Winning. I'm already here, man.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you, man. It's
Yeah,
No.
he and I
glad to
talked so much about it, like leading up to today, and I was like, dude, it's like it's gonna be weird to just be like having a casual conversation with this person that I've seen in so many things and whatever. And I spent the entirety of today going, he's answered every movie question imaginable. Don't mention movies. Let's just keep it disc golf.
Dude,
And we are 40 seconds in.
Ask anything that you want, man. Seriously, ask anything that you want. That's what I'm here for.
I'm
pretty
Kevin
open
owes
book.
me an autograph. Can you? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. He said good luck. I like him. Yeah, but we got some. Do you want to do rapid fire questions first, Caleb, or do you want? I've got some Twitter questions that are specifically disc
hit me.
golf related.
Either way.
Yeah. We can hit
And
you.
I've got my discs over here. I've got all
heck
kinds
yeah.
of stuff ready.
Yeah, let's get some.
Where's that?
I got
Where's that proxy, huh?
Oh, buddy.
Where's that proxy?
I sent him that.
Hey.
This is, I have to say, my favorite disc of all discs, in the sense that it's the most reliable disc that I can throw this thing like on a laser. I can get it to turn. I can do. I love this disc, and I grip locked my last one straight into the water like the biggest dork. It was it was the dumbest. Like, the water has never even come into play on this hole. There's no reason for me to have grip locked on this hole, and so this was so appreciated, man. Seriously, it made me so
It's
happy.
literally, you can see it's never been touched. It's been sitting at home on a shelf.
Yes.
I don't even remember where I got it, but I think it was one of the
loved.
ones I won it in a raffle from Jordan Castro, I think, actually.
Oh, nice.
So you actually just answered two of the Twitter questions already. The first one was Alex Holter saying, what's his favorite mold and manufacturer?
Okay, now that's I'd say overall consistency, that is, but I have a new favorite disc, which is this.
Oh wow,
the Clash Wild,
yeah,
the Wild Honey.
Yes,
I took this out the other day for the first time, and it's unbelievable. I mean, it's an expensive disc, and it's I wanted to just right away just dog on it, because I was like, why would they be so much more expensive? And it 100% is worth every penny, and it's so pretty too. I love it.
That one is gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it. But and it has that sort of the Mamba kind of. But the Mamba's a little bit more extreme,
Yeah,
it'll stay a little bit flatter, and a little bit it'll kind of tend to pull out into a little bit more of an S curve, which I really like. But
And that's funny because
I've
the
got a
other
lot of
question
favorites.
from JK Disc Golf was, "What's your favorite disc and why is it the Wild Honey?"
Yeah, so that was what a pull from
Somebody
that.
very smart. And I got to give a special shout out though to the EMAC Truth Supreme plastic.
Ooh,
First of all, McCabe has been one of the nicest people since I got into disc golf, like reaching out to me and sending me discs and stuff like this. And he sent me a bunch of judges, which are by far my favorite putters.
yeah.
Same baby, Team
Yeah,
Judge.
have you guys,
Warden better, but
have you guys checked out? Have you thrown the moonshine plastic? The glow?
I have not.
I have
It's
the Warden, but yes.
Incredible. Like it
Mhm.
feels like velvet or felt or something in your hand. It's incredible.
Oh,
It's
really?
definitely, of all the judges, the moonshine glow plastic is by far my favorite. And my stepson, who doesn't throw judges, felt this one and was like, dude, that's the best filling putter I've ever had. So I got him one for Christmas. That was his Christmas gift. So but the EMAC Truth. Shout out to Eric McCabe. He's
Big shout out.
He has been such a very key in my disc golf game, because he sent me a bunch of judges, and so I'm able to go out there and stand and and putt from one spot without having to retrieve every three discs I have to retrieve a damn disc.
Yeah,
a struggle we've all been through.
Yeah. So, but it's nice, but I'm like I said, my stepson and I will go out in the backyard and we'll play horse for hours, and then we got the glow discs and the glow setup, and so we go take our discs into the darkest forest here in near Jackson, in Pearl, Mississippi. This course called Center City, and we don't even think we're probably in mortal danger out there, but we don't even think we're having so much fun. But we take our black lights out there and get the disc glowing, and regular flashlight to kind of see our path. But
yeah,
we both tend to score just as well at night as we do during the day, because I think maybe you're just not seeing the trees, so you're not intimidated by them, or you're not thinking about it as much or something.
I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
My home course is an olive orchard, and nothing eats discs like an olive tree. I mean, it'll just swallow that up. So when we go out, we play glow rounds. We actually, there's and I can't, NSH Custom Discs is in Arizona, and they are going around to all the main courses that people play and putting night lights on for free, and they're solar. So our course just got night lights. Freestone's got night lights. Contecito's got night lights.
Yeah, that would be fantastic, because we literally play in pitch black darkness. We take two flashlights. We take a bright flashlight to sort of see the pathway, and a purple light to a glow to get the discs charged. But it's sketchy. It's sketchy out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean,
it is near Jackson, Mississippi. Anyway, it's
just the Mississippi woods does not sound like a fun place to be at night for sure.
Yeah, I figure if we hear banjos, we'll just start running. I can deal with the
just mark me for a birdie.
I can deal with growling. If it's a bear, it's a little one.
Yeah, no big deal.
The banjos. No, I'm good. Anyway.
So I think favorite utility or scramble disc from Joel Cano or Kano. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Two. I have
God,
two.
the fact that you just have these on deck makes me so happy.
Fireball and Defy.
Yes.
Axiom discs to me are absolutely perfect for my forehands. I love them on my backhand, don't get me wrong, but I mostly approach with my forehand. My closer ones got to go Toro, and then of course like the super whippy craziness, Zone OS. If I really got to whip one around, like I need a meat hook,
Eagle.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I love the Toro is my sort of 150, 120 and in. These two are like 300 and in. The Fireball and the Defy. So yeah, or like 280, 300 in there.
still, I that's
Yeah,
I think
I would
partly why
love to
grew
have
up
that
Fireball.
distance on my drives.
Oh, really? Yeah, my forehand. My stepson and I go to a baseball field and we throw from home plate, and that's to the center, dead center. It's 300 to the dead center, and I can hit the wall with a forehand.
Holy
I
smokes.
haven't thrown it over with a forehand yet, but I've thrown it over a lot with on the backhand. So I'm getting it over the center field fence at a baseball field on my backhand, which is a lot of fun. That's so
Jeez.
fun. Have you guys done that?
Outthrown by a 51-year-old. I'm just gonna leave.
I was a baseball player. Man, I almost went to college on a baseball scholarship, so I did. I was kind of an athlete growing up, So I've tried to stay as fit, but plus for my industry. Good God, I have to stay somewhat fit,
I don't.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I played baseball in high school, but then I
was a
found out what
catcher.
Cheetos and Xbox were. So
There you go.
Yo.
Listen, I gotta say that I think that I'm at an advantage in a way that because I grew up just before the era of sort of the internet and all of that stuff. I didn't have any of that growing up. I mean, we got our first Atari when I was like 13 or 14, but we were only allowed to play it a couple hours a day, and always after my mom was finished with it. and so we went outside and played. I grew up on a cattle ranch in Oklahoma for many years, and so
nice.
I grew up riding horses and that kind of stuff, and so I'm grateful that I didn't grow up with whenever internet and the video games stuff, because I see my kids sometimes not wanting to get out and do stuff whenever they would rather just be in and playing video games, and it worries me. It does worry me. But I got them out on the course. I got them loving it. My son Lyric had never thrown a disc before. He didn't even know what disc golf was. Took him out there. Now he's in love with it. Now he wants discs. Now he wants to play. He has a hell of a forehand. He already threw a bomber forehand because he's so fit. I have no shoulders, and I have no idea how I can even throw it at all. And he threw a bomber forehand. It was his first round. And so he's got incredible potential. And so he was like, okay, I get it. He was like, because he thought I was a dork. Because I kept just talking about disc golf. He's like, Dad, you're obsessed. What is this disc golf? I went out and saw him in Palm Springs, and at night when we were going to bed, when he was playing his games or whatever, I would watch disc golf on YouTube and be like, what the hell are you doing? You're obsessed. And it was fun. He looked at me after we played the other day, and he said, okay, I get it. He's like, I get it. This is
it
cool.
swallows your life, man.
It does.
I got divorced and had nothing to do, and now I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good substitute for rather going out and drinking your life away and partying and chasing,
or smoking. We all know how you feel about smoking.
Yeah, well, not smoking so bad. I mean, I smoke all the weed you can smoke. It's the tobacco I don't like.
Right.
But I for me, because I was always that busy person, always, outside doing stuff, I still have to be that. If I'm inside for too long, I will lose my mind. And that's when the demons want to start playing.
Banjos start.
In my own
banjos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's when the craziness, it's such a good release. It's therapy. It's therapeutic. It's keeping me healthy. It's improved my relationship with my stepson infinitely. And I just really, I want to be an ambassador for this game and this sport, man. I love keeping up with everybody.
I mean, you'd be a great one to do it for sure. Because your story is everyone's story with disc golf, right? But not everybody is, Jeremy London. So I think, just having ambassadors like that can help grow the sport exponentially. And it's really cool to hear every time you hear someone's, first experience with disc golf, it follows the same themes. It's like, oh, it got me out of the house. Yeah, I threw a disc once, right. Fall in love, and then you become obsessed.
Yeah.
And I think we all do that same that same path.
Yeah, I think one of the best things is that also is the price point. Listen, man, for not a whole lot of money, you can go out and actually really have a whole lot of fun. You're going to go out with the whole family. When you go onto a regular golf course, a ball golf course, it's expensive. Every single aspect of it is outrageously expensive every single time you play. You're going to lose discs. It's going to cost you some money. You got to get equipment and stuff. But overall, all of my local courses are free. I don't pay anything to play on my local courses, and I've got some incredible local courses. My course, I've got a couple, like all kinds of stages. The one I play the most is so hard that when I go anywhere else, I'm not intimidated by these hard courses. If I go somewhere it's a hard course, I'm not intimidated by it.
Nice. What is your favorite course you've played? I'm sure you travel and play as much as you can.
I've only played in Arkansas. I can't even remember the name of the place. There's a video on my YouTube channel on the London's Most Wanted YouTube channel. But I've played in Michigan at a cool little local course, but I just don't know the name of it. I am 51. I forget the names of these places. But here, locally in the Jackson, Mississippi area, there's a course called the Res, which is near the reservoir, which is a beautiful course. You got to be pretty skilled to score well there. I've scored my best score is even there, and I should have gotten a lot better than that, but I can't putt to save my life.
You're on the right podcast, pal.
God,
super relatable.
I played the guy that introduced me to this. My grandbaby's other grandfather, Ricky. We played the other day at the Res, and I beat him 5 plus 5. I was plus 5. He was plus 7. But I should have been easily even. I missed so many putts within like 15, 12 feet.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason.
Yeah,
I hate those days.
them.
It drives me nuts. Me nuts. I'm parking like long bomber shots, getting really, really, really good shots, and then I can't make the putt.
Can't convert. Yep, and that's why we're amateurs.
But then you go see Ricky and Gannon, all these guys making these putts, and they just look like they're tossing it in the air, like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. It's like they've got like a magic wand.
That's why I had to show Ricky a thing or two on his pool table when I went over there for New Year's.
I wanted to hear about that experience. How was that, man? I'm not jealous. I wish I could have been there for that. That'd have been fun.
It was a great time. It was just getting there was super awkward just because he just left his front door open, and I'm like, I don't want to just walk into this $3 million home or however. I don't know how much it was, but it's it's big, it's nice, and I just rolled in, and the first couple people I saw that I knew, I was like, oh hey, thank you, save me please, because this is so uncomfortable.
That's great.
And then Ricky walked up to me and was like, hey man, you made it. Now that for me, it's just like being on this podcast with you. It's when there's someone who's big and are important to you, and they come up to you, it just feels nice. And so it was very welcoming.
I think it's another really cool, another unique aspect of this game is that it's just on the verge of becoming this monster sport, but it's not yet. It really isn't yet. And so the people that are stars to us and the people that we admire and stuff like that, they're still relatively accessible.
Oh yeah.
Simon's getting big contracts, and these guys are getting I guarantee you, a lot of them are getting ready to get bigger contracts because everything's getting more competitive. Mm-hmm. But just like that, the fact that you were able to just, go to Ricky's and walk in and stuff like that, like there aren't a whole lot of like top of the game athletes that you can do that would just, that's a pretty special experience, man. That's cool.
I was super excited, and that's like another benefit that I get to filming disc golf when they're in the Phoenix area is like, I'm in line to wash my hands in the bathroom behind Paul Macbeth, the richest man in disc golf. Right. And that's like, he just turns around and he's like, hey, how's it going? And you're just like, what the hell? It's just wild.
Yeah,
it's like,
listen, man, even all of, even actors and stuff like that, when we find ourselves on, you know, movie sets and all this stuff, we still always check ourselves and go, wow, it's pretty cool that we're here. You know what I mean? Like, even
Yeah.
those guys, you know, I'm
Yeah.
sure several times a day they're like, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this shit. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I can't believe this.
Living the dream. I mean,
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
fantastic.
And yeah, I think you touched on something good there, is because like disc golf is still a small enough sport that it does still feel like a community, and like you
Yes.
want to be involved in that community. And I think that's the same with pros, minus, you know, I don't even say I'd say minus a few of them, because they're all either creating or interacting on social media, or like
Right.
if you run into them at an event, I mean, you're not going to get snuffed, right? You're not
Right.
going to be like, oh, you know, I'll talk to you later or whatever. Like almost everyone seems so approachable. And I think that's a symptom of our sport being so community focused. I think it's still a remnant of the grow the sport mentality.
Yeah, and I hope it stays that way. I hope it stays
Absolutely.
that way. You know, I see people being ugly to each other, especially like towards Brody and stuff like that on Twitter, and you know,
love you, Drew.
and the whole, you know, right, just like people just dogging each other, you know, and like people, you know, so there's certainly the people that are sort of always going to sort of poke the bear, you know, no matter what, and they're never going to be happy, you know, and which kind of just sort of, to me, goes against the whole sort of Zen thing that I love with disc golf. I think that's why I love it so much, because it is like the feeling of throwing, you know, one of these discs, and then, you know, am I going to sell out here? The feeling of throwing one of these and getting, you know, when you get that perfect, it's there's no comparison. I've hit perfect ball golf shots for years, and there's no comparison.
No,
you know. So
it's really almost inexplicable, because I've brought friends who just they've, like you said, never heard of the game. They're like, is that the thing with the chains at the park? Yes,
frisbee
that's it.
golf. That's
and then
frisbee golf stuff.
And you throw a putter in their hands, and they throw one S curve, and they're like, oh, that was cool. And you're like, you get it. Welcome.
What I think the revelation for me was realizing that there are discs that go left, and there are discs that go right, and there are discs that you can flex and get to, and that people throw them with a forehand and a backhand and over, and you rely on like all of these like elements to it that are amazing.
Yeah, and there's no other sports ball or anything like that moves like, you know, it's usually nothing moves like a frisbee.
No,
right?
There's a lot of physics involved, a lot of
and it's
a lot of science, which I think is why I like MVP and Axiom discs as much as I do. I think the science behind all of that is fascinating to me. But, you know, I love a good destroyer too. So I love that. You know,
you love disc.
We all love all the discs.
Yeah, the Rive,
except for the Rock.
Oh my god. Yeah, what's up with the Rock? I've never heard anything good about that.
I'm gonna get the hell out of that. That's so good.
What's up with that?
These people die.
I love figuring out how I beat my friends when it's windy, because I'm thinking about headwinds, tailwinds, left to right, whatever. And my friends are great, but I think that the way my mind works, it's why I like billiards and snooker, and I'm all about angles and
it's
how
like
it's going to
chess
affect.
almost. Yeah,
it's like I don't even know how to play chess, so that's extra telling. It's a headwind. I can flip this up and get it to go.
That's the science. But it's understandable. Look, it took me a while to figure out that you don't throw understable discs into a wind because they flip like hell. You throw all that stuff. You know, like I had no idea. I didn't understand what understable and overstable and all that meant. And I couldn't understand why a couple of discs that I got that I was told were these great discs, all they do is flip, man. And I had no idea because I was throwing into a headwind and all of that stuff. So figuring out those little elements of the game to me has been fascinating. It's been so fun.
It really is.
I think it drove me nuts. I couldn't understand as somebody, because I used to be able to throw a baseball literally from center field to home plate, and I did that in a big game one time, and got the guy tagged out at home plate, and I threw from center field. So I used to have a hell of an arm. So I didn't understand, why can't I throw these discs very far, and like all of the mechanics of it, the science of it, and every time I would get one little bit more of like insight into the way the mechanics of it and the way the whole thing works, it's just more addicting and more addicting and more addicting. And then once you want to, then you got to go test it, and then when it works, then you got that like adrenaline rush, and then you just want to figure out more stuff. I mean, there a couple of things, just a couple of tips. I got a grip tip from Eagle, where to put my feet from Joel, a couple of like, you know what I mean, a delay, sort of not reaching back too early from the rubber band guy, whatever his name is.
Oh, a
slingshot guy. That guy's fantastic.
Yeah,
I was reaching back too early.
Mhm.
And once I figured to take that step before reaching back, it changed my whole game. These little tiny little things like that. And now, even though I can't throw, I can throw maybe 410, 415 if I huck it. That's my best throw ever is 416.
Gee.
Not 420. Should have just rounded up.
I should, right? Now I did get a 500
internet distance.
roller. The way that I learned about not throwing an understable disc into a headwind is at this local course. From off the top of a mountain, I threw an understable disc into a headwind, and it flipped like crazy, landed, and it took off. It went well over 500 feet. But I don't tell anybody I've thrown over 500 feet, because that wasn't me.
Yeah,
It's always such a bittersweet moment.
That was not me. I wish I could say yes. I've thrown one 500 and some feet, but I have not. Mother Nature threw it. Like,
yeah.
It was fun. I parked a really, really, really long hole. I didn't birdie it, but I didn't need to. But
damn, throw it 500 plus feet. Can't make the 12-foot putt.
I learn. I every time. That would be me. 100%.
Happens.
It
happens
would be
to the
me.
best of us. Oh man.
Who's Eagle going with, guys?
It's got to be MVP.
MVP.
I hope so.
It's got to be.
I sure hope so.
Is
there an outside chance Latitude 64? Because the Eagle seems to have like a kinship with the Europeans over there. So
he does. I don't think Latitude is really his
branding.
Like
energy. I don't think they can afford him, honestly, as mean as that sounds.
That makes sense.
They've been dropping players and focusing more on sponsoring European folks for the tour. But there is a chance that grabs him, which
yeah.
I
think that would be really smart for them.
It would be. I think that's where the money is going to be, because if people can get an Tour Series Eagle, there's no way that doesn't just fly off the shelves. But conversely, having Eagle and Simon on the same team would just be,
it would be, those guys they were the what bros? They were the something bros. What
Crush
were they?
Boys.
Crush Boys. Crush Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see them back together.
It really would be.
Yeah. I think that's another fun thing about the sport is that you see these friendships like Alden and Gannon and, and these cats that are all, hang together. That's fun to watch,
Yeah, it still feels so homegrown.
Yeah, Ezra and Brody and those guys.
Yeah.
It's fun to see that they're all getting out there and having fun with the pros still. It's competitive and they all want to win, but it doesn't feel like to me like it's like this like vicious competitiveness. Like people genuinely seem to be happy for their the other players whenever they do something amazing, like get an ace or win a tournament for the first time. When Matty O won, that was really inspirational.
Oh man, I may have cried.
Yeah,
no
it was cool,
one can confirm, but maybe.
I can confirm.
I can.
I have the selfie to prove it.
It was not. I think that I probably sort of was like, oh my god, this is really really amazing, and felt a little verklempt myself. So it was, it's cool.
Reference. What a reference! I love that. Man, a coffee talk reference that just threw me back 30 years. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking today. Is like if you've ever seen the movie Basketball. Like they're very keen on keeping it like a down to earth kind of homegrown sport, and they don't want the big contracts and the teams moving cities and all of that stuff. And I think that's very much the kind of vibe that disc golf has still. Like you said, we're right at a tipping point where if we get any bigger, that kind of stuff's like we're starting to see $1 million contracts and so on and so forth. But it still has that like. I could, if you were in Phoenix and I DM'd you, there's a very good chance I could just go play around with Jeremy London,
Right,
and I
absolutely,
think
100%.
that, like, and I love that about the sport. Everybody,
I do too. I just, I keep seeing the same like 3 celebrities over and over, and 2 of them I have no idea. I know who Bert Kreischer is, and that's about it. I don't know who anybody else is. I'm like, like get London in there.
The machine.
Yeah, I bet if you were to reach out to the right people, you could get on in there too. Because I mean, the sport is so desperate to like. I mean, they were like clawing at Bert Kreischer, like, please do something with us, like please. And
he's got a big outreach right now. I think he's a better disc golfer. Did I say that?
Shots fired.
Bring it, Bert.
Bring it, Bert.
I'm just trying.
My dad's name is Bert, so that'll be extra fun for me.
That's great.
But yeah, there's you, Bert Kreischer. I've seen Christopher Heaview, Tormund from Game of Thrones, big disc golfer.
Oh right, yeah.
He's like. He's intense, and then like a couple athletes like Dylan Cease,
couple of MMA guys, I guess.
Ben Askren,
player. Yeah.
So
so let's get it out there, man. I need to get out. I guarantee you, knowing the people that I know in Hollywood and LA and all that stuff, and being even just traveling and being on set and. It's such a fun thing to be able to bring the discs and be able to get out and like bond with castmates and get other people into. So I've been getting other people into Jeff from Clark, the guy, a couple of my friends from Clark's. I've got them into it, and now people are coming up to me at conventions and bringing me discs and stuff. It's great,
Heck yeah!
I mean,
I bet Jay would love it.
Yeah, dude, I think that he if he would take the time to do it, he would.
That's true.
Too busy gaming.
I used to play Words with Friends with Jay for a long time, actually. Just a fun quick story. I was going downtown to stand up live here in Phoenix to see Jay and Silent Bob get old. And Kevin's plane had been delayed by about 30 minutes. And I was standing outside waiting for my friends to get there so we could all be seated. And I'm looking to my right, and to my left, a guy walks up and he's like, "Is it cool if I smoke here?" And I turn around and it's Jason Mewes. And I was just like, "No, go away. Of course you can smoke here." And so he starts talking to me about like the plaza that the comedy club's in. And he goes, they turn this into an ice rink in the wintertime. And I was like, "Yeah, I live here. So yeah, I know that." And he's like, "You fucking smart ass." And it was just like the most honest,
that's great,
like funny, goofy conversation. My friend showed up. They're like, "Let's go." I was like, "Sorry, I'm talking to Jason Mewes." And that was a nice little like mic drop moment. But
right
it's
that's usually where you're gonna find him out smoking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cigarette breaks, that one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think he had 2 or 3 cigarettes in like the 15 minutes we were out there.
The heroin's not going to kill him. It's going to be the damn tobacco.
Damn it. Get it.
He looks fantastic, though. Have you guys seen him lately?
Yes, he looks phenomenal.
He looks incredible.
And I just explained literally 2 days ago what a Dutch rudder was to my beautiful girlfriend because she had no idea what that one was.
It feels like a sex thing, but I don't know if I know what that is either.
It's from Zach and Miri Make a Porno. He's explaining to his buddies like,
sex thing. Got you.
Yeah, he's like, if you've got your hand on yourself and your buddy has his hand on himself, and you just move each other's arms, you're not really doing anything.
That's
It's a
right.
Dutch rudder. Like, damn right. It's like, and that's, I don't know if that's a thing beforehand, but that definitely feels like the thing that like Jay
That's
would just come
hilarious.
up like
Yeah,
off the top of his head.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
man, I can't
That
imagine
sounds
how
like
fun it
something
would be
Kevin.
to
That sounds
film
like
with all
something
you
Kevin
guys.
would write. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it's work. You know, it's work. It's Kevin's stuff is meticulously written. You know, you don't really, you don't improv anything, and we rehearsed everything for weeks.
Wow.
And so by the time you're actually seeing our performance, we've already said those words 1,000 times. So what's funny to you isn't funny to us anymore. It's no longer. That's why it comes across so naturally, though. You know, and that's why things can come out so quickly.
That's
And
interesting
because
that
it was
there's not
just
a
all
lot of
burned
improv.
There's zero improv.
That's
None.
wild because even I think Kevin's had some shows on Netflix like Too Fat for 40 and things like that, and he's just goes, man. Like he just starts telling a story and he doesn't stop
Kevin,
until he realizes. Like,
I've given him shit, and I'm quite sure that it's probably why I don't wind up in many more of his movies is because I always, every time that we're all together, I ultimately will always wind up saying, "Silent Bob, my ass." Motherfucker doesn't shut up.
It's so funny
for 3 hours.
And he has these little
Silent Bob.
he has these little like mannerisms that you find yourself, picking up on. Like he says "and shit" all the time, or like whenever he wants to check on something, just make sure it's copacetic. And it's like those words have found their way into my lexicon.
He's the sweetest human. I love Kevin Smith. His energy is something else, man. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. He is like the Energizer Bunny because his plate is full. I mean, that dude goes from one thing to the next, the next, the next, the next, the next. He's always in demand for everything, and it's admirable. And I'm glad to see that his all of our craziness back then paid off for him, because at the time I didn't think he knew what the hell he was doing. So
I don't think he knew what the hell he was doing.
And then the movie bombed, and so it confirmed that what the hell he's doing. Yeah. Little did I know.
And now, 30 years later, we're clamoring for your presence in the disc golf
world. He has a thing. Mallrats took Mallrats for people to be able to watch it with their beers and bongs and watch it like over and over and like really enjoy it the way that it's supposed to be seen. In a theater, it's too much. It was too much to take all in at once, and you go, "Wait, this is funny. Wait, what's funny?" But I don't. I'm still trying to get that joke while this joke's going on, and so it was almost like too much to process. And I remember Anchorman being the same way with me. I walked out of Anchorman. I thought Anchorman was the worst movie I'd ever been to in my entire life. And now it's one of my favorite movies because I, finally took the time to like watch it. But I remember taking my dad we had the premiere of Mallrats, and it was a blowout. It was huge. It was amazing. I was convinced this was going to be the biggest movie ever. And so then I flew my dad into town and I wanted to take him to a theater to see it. We were going to go to a theater and watch Mallrats in the theater and watch the crowd go crazy. And we got there and there were like 6 people. And by the time the movie was over, he and I were the only ones still left in the theater. Everybody left.
Wow.
During the movie. Everybody was just like, this is.
Oh, no.
It was like,
it's
wow.
so wild to think about these days because it's like it's you and Ben Affleck and Michael Rooker and Stan Lee and all these like huge names, and then people are like, this sucks. It's like, get out of here. I think when I was watching it today, I was really trying to kind of like simplify the plot in my brain, and for me it made me happy because I was like, that's why I love this movie so much. It's two guys trying to get their girlfriends back, and that's so relatable. And it's to date a movie.
Never
Sorry, I hit my mic
to be anything more than that. I think that is probably the formula for why it works, because it is relatable to everybody on that sort of just base level, and it's just goofy. It's silly, but it's silliness that kind of is like. It's multi-generational. It doesn't, like, comedy itself is very specific. Like something that was funny in the 70s, like say Cheech and Chong, isn't funny at all now. If you go back and watch that stuff, it's absolute garbage. It's hard to watch. It's not funny, but it was groundbreaking for the time, and for the time it was hilarious. Mallrats, I don't think is like that, because it was just as dumb back then as it is now, but like in an intelligent way. It wasn't just playing to like one specific kind of thing, like, hey, everybody's stoned, everybody's high, everybody's goofy, look at me, laugh at me, I'm smoking weed, it's funny. It's not it doesn't hang on tropes. It hangs on like real, like little moments, and all these little moments in the moments. And Kevin he was a visionary before I think he even realized he was a visionary. Seriously, I don't even think he realized what a good movie he made.
Yeah,
I remember he apologized for Mallrats a couple years after it because it didn't do well.
Oh no,
no, should be apologizing for Geely still.
Yeah.
Even he would say that.
He's not going to argue with you on that one, I don't think. So.
During that podcast I went and saw, he made a few barbs about it, and being able to laugh at yourself is like the most important quality in a human.
You have to be able to. I mean, look, he's still making movies with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, right? I mean, who gets to do that?
Right.
Yeah, it's hardly a failure, really. It's really hardly a failure.
Right. You want to hit him with some rapid fire questions there, Caleb?
Let's do
it. Sure.
Machine gun this man, but like
it's machine
not actually.
All right, we're gonna give you. Let me get a timer pulled up here quick.
I got one. How much time you want?
Let's go 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's
30
all
seconds.
Jeremy needs from what I've heard. All right. What? Sorry.
All right.
I live to roast, and he's never going to talk to me again after this podcast. All right, ready?
That's
all right.
Go.
Let's go. All right. What's your favorite filmed ace?
Oh, gotta be. Shoot. I really love Jennifer. Jennifer Allen had one this last season that was amazing. That really sticks out in my mind.
All right. Are you secretly Brendan Fraser?
No, but I've had this old person in a Home Depot line one time think I was. That was
a favorite disc golf disc.
30 seconds, but let's ask more questions because two's not enough.
Wild honey.
What's it like being handsome?
Please tell us.
Lord, it's a lot better than not being handsome.
Favorite professional.
I've been both. Trust me.
Favorite professional frolfer.
Simon.
I
love Simon.
Schooner or sailboat?
Oh, definitely schooner.
All right. Least favorite frolfer.
Nico.
Nico.
Ooh,
spicy. That's all I got for rapid fire questions.
Perfect. That was a minute,
but I have to say, I still like Nico. You just said who was my least favorite.
Yeah.
I still. There are things about Nico.
Favorite is still in the title.
Yeah.
There are things about Nico I like.
No, absolutely. I heard him on Tour Life a couple episodes ago on Tour Life, and I don't think I kind of got swept up in that same thing that I think a lot of people did, where you just kind of see the 10-second clip, and you kind of make an assumption. But hearing him actually like talk, he seems genuinely passionate about the sport.
I think that ultimately he's just a very passionate person.
Yeah. And he made the point that like what he, like getting up in the official's face at the European Open. He's like, you see that in other sports constantly. Like there's constantly other or like skirmishes. That's kind of where I was going with this.
Gotta keep it classy, San Diego, right?
Yeah. Disc golf is still golf. You don't see Tiger rushing the mound. Could
you imagine?
Like,
if it's the same thing. You don't do that to the on-course official.
Yeah.
And Lord knows he takes too much damn time. It's not that complicated. It's just throwing a plastic disc. Go throw the damn thing. What the hell are you thinking about so long?
Yeah. Yep.
It's stuff like that. It's it feels I think it starts edging over into inconsideration for everybody else. You know what I mean? It's
Oh.
like feeling like my space and my time is more important than everybody else. This is my moment. I'm going to take it and milk it. And at anybody else's inconvenience, and everybody else is going to just have to live with it. That type of attitude doesn't play well with me. I don't like that attitude with actors, and I don't like that attitude with anybody. I just, this veers to that entitled place that I just don't understand.
Yeah, entitlement's the ugliest trait there is.
It is.
Expecting things is, I mean, as someone who works in the customer service industry, because I'm not graced with the movie star face, nothing makes me want to help somebody less than when they're like, "You're gonna do this for me."
Yes, absolutely.
Watch me find ways not to do it for you.
Right.
It's just so unattractive.
I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I blame the parents. They clearly were not smacked around enough as kids or something. I don't know what the hell, but people just
funny.
Me too. I grew up in the 70s. I got whooped. I got my ass whooped.
Oh my gosh. If you've never seen Sinbad's stand-up special called Afros and Bell Bottoms, do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
So we got our asses whipped. And you didn't call the cops. The cops would come and laugh at you.
He tells this whole story. He goes, if you did something bad in the 70s, your ass would get whooped by the whole neighborhood before you got home to get your ass whooped.
I've had my ass whooped by my next door neighbor. I've had my ass whooped by my mom's best friend. I've had my ass whooped by all my aunts and uncles at some point or another. It's that whole sort of mentality that it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. We've lost that. Now you can't even look at another child, or somebody will call you a pedophile or some stupid shit. But it's because of the amount of pedophiles that have ruined it for everybody. So it's not. There's a reason. I don't want those people around my kids now, and it's it's sad that that's the world we've come down to.
Yeah,
but it sucks. That's for sure.
Yes.
What a positive note to end on.
Yes,
let's
2, 3, 4.
Pedophiles. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. You throw in just an ugly Trump jab right here at the end.
That's what earlier we promised. We promised. Politics. We did because I had this hat on episode 2 and it was backwards, and I was like, everybody probably thought this was a totally different hat, and it's like, nope, it's just a disc golf hat, and I don't want to hear another word about it. It doesn't help when you have this haircut either.
I would assume by now you've seen my Twitter my Twitter page.
No holds barred.
To know that probably wouldn't be a good move, but I'm trying to get better.
Although it was kind of rude to drag me for my my outburst at the Bass Pro Shops. I'm trying to get better.
Was that you?
That was me, yeah.
Was that you?
Yes. All right, I'm going to let YouTube hash this out.
The water was cold. What can you say? The water was cold.
Yeah, not my greatest moment. All right, Jeremy, one more from you.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. I really I would want to do this again.
Absolutely.
If you guys have any idea of how to get me involved in the pro-ams or anything to do with the industry, anybody out there in the disc golf world, that's looking for ambassadors for the sport, I would love to be that, because
you came to the right podcast.
I do love the game. I do love the game. It has changed my life, and I want to give it back.
Absolutely,
I want to be able to give that back to the same gift that was given to me with this wonderful sport. I want to be able to give it back.
Absolutely. Well, that's amazing.
I'm sure this being your first appearance, and that'll be a clip for certain that goes out to. We'll tag.
Yeah,
we don't care.
Yeah, make sure
we want you in the sport as much as you want to be in the sport. Let me
go,
man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
All right, Jeremy, give me a number between 1 and 7.
1 and 7, 3.5.
3. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3.
I love that.
And a half. Minnesota disc golfer won the Grace. So congrats to that guy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
You
can thank Jeremy London personally for that.
I didn't know that it was doing that. I would have given you more, especially you just had a number between 1 and 7. I can give you a very specific number between 1 and 7.
There was only 7 people commented to enter into that giveaway. So,
well, at least something good. The person that got it deserves it.
Yep.
We've been telling them to join because your odds right now with us are
Pretty good.
incredible.
Insane. Yeah. So, well, thank you so much for being
people
on, man.
see this, and then they'll see that it's real. Thank you guys for having me.
It was great.
Always,
Appreciate it.
All right.
All
Thank you.
Have a
guys,
good one,
man.
brother.
You guys be well.
See ya.
Thank you, you too.
Man, get out of here, dude. Who is this guy?
See
you later.
Jeremy Paris. I don't know. That's the worst joke I'm gonna make all day, and I'm sorry. He was phenomenal. So nice.
Oh yeah. What a cool interview to have for episode 7.
I know.
So
Just barely off the ground. Hey, do you remember that heartthrob from the 90s who's now
So
into disc golf? Now he's here. Yeah, so you announced that giveaway. Do we want to announce a new one for this episode?
let's do a new one.
Do a new one? Do you have one? You want me to pull one?
I don't have one. Let's have you pull one. Ooh, cracks fingers, do the little Naruto like.
Naruto run to 4 Oh boy, so many treats in here. What do we want to start with?
Chest of goodies.
Let's just do the biggie first. I think. Oh god
The
damn.
biggie first. Are you gonna do it to him I suppose for the Jeremy London episode.
It's a big episode. We need a big giveaway.
It is.
And I think what we should do is tag your favorite disc golf manufacturer on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Also tag Shanked or I or Hanging Loose if you're on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And tell that manufacturer why they need to get in touch with Jeremy London.
I like that.
Because he's obviously super passionate about the sport. He's a phenomenal personality. He was very kind to us, very accessible. He didn't have to do this at all. We paid him $0. It was literally just because he loves disc golf that he came on to talk with us today.
Yes.
So
And if he wants to be involved like he does in the sport, I think they should let him. So yeah, make a post, tag me, Spicy, or the Hanging Loose if you're on Twitter, and tell your favorite manufacturer why they should hire or involve TS Quint into the sport.
And we will take all of the authors of those posts. We will throw you into a raffle. Sorry, drawing. We can't say raffle. Drawing. Mm-hmm. And you're going to win yourself a autographed Big Z Paige Pierce Soul. This was provided by my lovely sponsors, OTB Discs.
OTB.
They threw this in the package for us to give away. There's 5 other discs in there for us to give away for them. But this is rainbow stamped. It's gorgeous. Feels great. It's an understable mid, so it's gonna turn right on you. It's great for tunnel shots or shaping shots in the woods. But tag your manufacturer, me and Shanked, Hanging Loose, whatever you got to do. Just make sure one of those 3 accounts sees it. Tag at Sir Jeremy London on Twitter. I'm not sure if that's his IG, but I'm sure you can find him if you look. And we will pick a winner 1 week from today. And I will get this mailed out to you. I just mailed 2 of the other giveaways today. Did the Ricky Wysocki Daedalus and the Haley King Stalker. And we want Jeremy London involved in disc golf, and we're going to call on you guys to help. So
yes.
Thank you again, OTB.
Shout out OTB. Shout out Great Lakes. Shout out Jeremy London.
Everybody.
Yeah, for real. Use code Hanging Loose at Great Lakes Disc for 10%.
This one right here.
Yep, that one. Just the one disc. You'll have to fight for it.
Disc.
But
yep.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to another sick episode of Hanging Loose.
You give us a scream this time.
Oh, that's a good call. All right. Hang loose, y'all.
Thanks for listening to Hanging Loose, a disc golf podcast. We'll be back again next week. Until then, hang loose.